The second criteria is related to the first logically, and that is when there's going to be visitation that's blocked, you have to give a reason for it. So that leads to criteria or step number 2, which is false allegations of abuse. And this can take the form of the most benign, where a parent will simply be critical of another parent's parenting style and will, for example, say, well, the other parent is too permissive. They let them watch too much television or things such as that. Well, there'll really be a parental difference, but not so much a frank bad parenting. But it then progresses all the way to the other extreme, where Child Protective Services will be called because there'll be an allegation that the targeted parent physically or emotionally, or in some cases even sexually abused the child, at which point then the authorities come in and do evaluations and so forth. But in the case of those more extreme things, which is actually very common in these cases, the court will have stepped in out of the abundance of caution to protect the child and then evaluate. So during the time of this allegation of abuse, which has to be determined to be truthful or not truthful, that becomes the justification to prevent the child from seeing that parent. It's very important, I think, to point out here, however, that we understand that children are abused by parents. That does happen. And children are sexually molested by parents. That does happen. So that's not to say that we understand that these things don't happen, because they do. So the key thing in evaluating this is determining the falseness of the allegation of abuse. That's very important. So as a consequence of this, and doing evaluations where parental alienation is alleged, it's very important to go through a painstakingly detailed evaluation to determine the truth or lack of truth of the allegation. It is not a foregone conclusion that the abuse did not occur. It has to be evaluated.